Good day, Father Matt Williams here on this Monday of the third week of Lent. I hope you're doing well. Today, in the Gospel today, Jesus says something really profound. He says that, of course, everything he says is profound, right? But he says this, he says that a prophet is not without honor except in his own native place. A prophet is not without honor except in his own native place. And what he's saying is that the prophet, and we really look to Israel in the Old Testament first and foremost, and we see the great prophets of Isaac and Elijah and Elisha, and we see how they proclaim the power of God. They proclaim the truth of God. Like the prophet's job is to call people back to the Lord, call them back to his covenant love, call them back to relationship. And the prophet, and many times is rejected because people don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear that they've gone away because of their sins and that they're being called back. They don't want to let go of their stuff. So the prophet sometimes is met with great indifference or ambivalence. In other cases, a prophet is accepted in this sense for the one whose heart is open to receive the good news, to receive the truth, and to want to come back to Jesus. The prophet is someone who, in many ways, brings them back to the Lord and is a gift. And so Jesus, in referring to all these things, is really talking about himself. He's at his own native area. And he's saying that, a prophet is honored in many places. A prophet, his voice is heard and invited back. People receive his invitation to come back to the Lord. But most times he's rejected in his own native area. The very place where he grew up is sometimes the hardest place for him to evangelize. And we see Jesus is not able to perform many miracles in his own native place of Nazareth. They're stuck in putting him in a box because they think they got Jesus all figured out. They put him in a box. They got him all figured out. He's the son of a carpenter. How can he be like the Savior of the world? How can he be a Messiah? How can he be the one that the prophets have foretold? We know who he is. We know his mother. We know who he is. Who is he, And I often think, sometimes when you're growing up, and I remember when I had my conversion, and I'm starting to follow the Lord and really trying to live my faith, and people are like, Matt, that's not you. That's not who you are. Like, we like the old Matt better. Like, why are you trying to be like that, And so the thing is, like, sometimes the very hardest people for us to bear witness to and to win over the Lord are the people that have known us the longest, the people that are our own sphere of influence. They're sometimes the hardest people to evangelize or the hardest people to bear the witness to Jesus' love to. Sometimes they're the hardest ones. The hardest rejection we experience is from our very own. We can think of our friends, family members, loved ones, people in our inner circle. So Jesus says, a prophet is not without honor except in his own native place. And he's saying that, sometimes the hardest places to be witness to him is in the very place where you grew up or the people that are around you. Jesus went through the same thing. And we also know that Jesus is the stone rejected by the builders who has become the cornerstone. So we have to walk and follow in the footsteps of Jesus. And what does Jesus teach us? That we have to deny ourselves, pick up our cross daily, and follow him. We know that in following him, we will be given heavy crosses, heavy burdens to carry. That's the way it goes with Christian living. But the Lord will vindicate us, and our true home is in heaven. So, my brothers and sisters, on this third week of Lent as we begin, just to know that you're called to be a great witness of Jesus' love and mercy. And sometimes the hardest place to be that witness is among your own friends, your own family, your own peers. But to know that Jesus went through the same thing, and by his example, and most especially because of his grace, we can bear witness as well, and we can live for Christ and be a light to those who need him most. And remember, the ones who push back the hardest are the ones who usually need him the most and are resisting that call to love and truth. God bless you. Please pray for me as I pray for you. Until the next time, Father Matt. Follow me on Twitter, Father Matt for Boston. God bless you.